name is Sam Christensen, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about the structure of a map. So, the first thing we're going to talk about is the support section. So, in the support section, this is where you're going to find staff names. What we want in this section is only Scenic View staff members. So, what not to include would be student names. That would include the students whose map it is, as well as other students at Scenic View. We just want staff names in there, so no parent names, no other outside sources, just Scenic View staff names in that box. As far as who fills out the support section, the service coordinator will fill out the support section at the beginning of the term and when needed, but then going forward, as new steps are added, the support staff over that step will then add the name or collaborate with another staff member to add their name to the support field. So going forward, as each term starts, you're going to want to make sure that you're on top of your maps, that you know that you're going to be on a map. So expect to be on a map. You're going to be in charge of filling it out. So when you're added to a map, the service coordinator will contact you via email or on the phone. One way or another, they're going to contact you and let you know that your name is now on the map in the support section. Expect to be on the map even if you only work with the student one time or every time you work with the student. It's your responsibility to then update the map and the progress and to put yourself in the support section. Service coordinators will contact you if they have updated your name onto a map. So collaborate with them and make sure that you're being updated with your documentation. To go into more depth about how the format goes, we're going to look at a map and show you the support section. Looking at the map, you can see that the format we use is listing the name of the interaction, so in this case a housing one-on-one, and then a colon, and then listing the name and last initial of the supporting staff. The format we want to use when listing staff names is the first name, last initial with a period. That helps it keep a nice, consistent, and organized look in our maps. Now, there are situations where, for instance, in a class where multiple people will be helping out with a particular step. So in that case, you list the name of the class, and then a colon, and then you'll then list the name of all of the staff members that are working on that particular step. Now, there are situations where a class will only have one staff member working on a particular step. You don't need to list all of the staff members in the class, but just the staff members that are working on that particular step. So we have an example here where we've listed the class name, we've got the colon, but only Georgie W. is working on that particular step. So that's the only staff member we need to include. A couple of rules when using the support section. Don't put another person's name on a map without talking with the service coordinator and that person. That helps us keep the map organized and everyone understanding which parts they are assigned. And to go with that as well, don't take your name off of a map without talking with the service coordinator first. You may be assigned to work with a student on a particular step or a particular goal, and maybe you don't realize all of the reasons why that is. So in that kind of a situation, you'll want to talk with the service coordinator to make sure that you were assigned correctly in that kind of situation. So there's a few people that will not be on a map. For example, work supervisors, HSWs, front desk employees, volunteers, facilities manager, HR manager, IT manager, the executive director, and the CFO or accountant. They don't work directly with students, so they will not be listed on a map. There are certain situations when an HSW and or a work supervisor might be useful to a skill developer, but since they are not in charge of updating a map and the progress, it would be the responsibility of the skill developer to work with them and then update the map accordingly. So to clarify, the HSWs and the work supervisors can be a good tool to use, but it is still the responsibility of the skill developer to update the map. There are some part-time staff that will not be updating the maps as well, and the rule of thumb with that is that if the part-time staff is working 6 hours or less within a week, then it is their responsibility to report their interactions with the students to their supervisor, and their supervisor will then update the map accordingly. Now, if you work 6 hours or more and you're part-time, It is your responsibility to update the map and to stay on top of your interactions with your students.